Give me a signal. What's the signal?
Hello, everybody. We will get started shortly, taking you to the future of healthcare training. Do not adjust your monitors. You have been transported to the future of healthcare, where man and machine have come to change healthcare training for the future. I am from the future, lights on, where this technology has completely transformed the way we teach healthcare professionals. And we'll begin by showing you a quick overview of what we have here to change healthcare training. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to take off my mask, and you can meet me for real. I'm Michael Hollins, and I'm the Director of Community and Business Engagement for iEXCEL. And I'm here today to tell you about the future of healthcare. And the future of healthcare is pretty bright indeed. We've got a lot of cool things that we use to train healthcare professionals on a whole bunch of different equipment and technology. So just bear with me one moment while I pull up my video and give you an overview of our program. So I work for UNMC, the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and we're a place that uses healthcare training to transform and improve how we teach our healthcare students. And so within that, we use a lot of different technology. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my screen share here. Sorry, everybody, trying to get my video to come up here. And I'm just having a little bit of trouble. Just give me 1 second. There it is. All righty, I'm pulling it up here. And as you can see, I'm dressed up like man and machine combined, because at the Davis Global Center and at iEXCEL, that's what we do. We combine machinery and technology and robotics to bring learning to life.
Welcome to the Davis Global Center, home to iEXCEL. This iconic 5-level medical simulation facility has been purposefully created to transform health professions education. This center also houses the Global Center for Health Security, a federally funded program that specializes in biopreparedness. With its highly advanced technological capabilities, the Davis Global Center provides healthcare professionals with safe learning spaces. In these simulated environments, they can routinely practice and hone their skills without fear of causing discomfort or harm. The unique design of this center actually incorporates the total healthcare system from home to hospital and back. This allows teams to practice safe transitions as a patient is transferred from one level of care to the next. An important component of the Davis Global Center, yet hidden from the eye, is a robust, integrated technical infrastructure that captures, analyzes, and distributes data. By tracking center usage and training outcomes, real-time feedback can be given to students and faculty. State-of-the-art simulation and visualization technologies, including immersive environments, wayfinding displays, and even a holographic theater, are to be found throughout the center. Through the adoption of interactive digital walls, iEXCEL is connected with UNMC training sites statewide. Collaborative software allows UNMC students and faculty to share knowledge by transferring interactive media and data across the 500-mile-wide state of Nebraska and even beyond. For the creation of highly accurate medical content for the 3D virtual worlds, iEXCEL relies upon a multidisciplinary team, including medical artists, computer programmers, 3D specialists, animators, and web developers who partner with UNMC medical subject matter experts to bring learning alive. Statewide and rural training outreach is an important aspect of the iEXCEL mission. This is accomplished by 4 mobile simulation units distributed across the state, as well as live virtual events from the Davis Global Center. Simulation in Motion, Sim Nebraska, deploys remote training opportunities, such as conducting emergency and disaster preparedness exercises. Critical to the ultimate success of iEXCEL is creating the right culture. This means that
All right, everybody. So as you saw, that was an overview of the Davis Global Center, and give you a little bit of insight into what we're doing at the Davis Global Center. I'm trying to get my screen share working. I wonder if a moderator can help me out so I can share my screen, and trying to share my PowerPoint here, but I'm having a little bit of trouble. So I'm hitting the screen share, boom. Application window, PowerPoint. There it is, but nobody can see my PowerPoint, I'm sure, because I'm not seeing anything working quite. Let me see if that works. Okay, can everybody see that then? Wonderful. All right, so now we have it up. All right, that's all I needed. All right. Let me get this. Sorry, everybody. So there we are. So, and I'm dressed up today. I'm dressed up like one of our favorite characters from science fiction because I wanted to show us how the dreams of the past and our imaginations of science fiction and what is possible have become a reality. You know, we look to things You know, robotics from the future, things from our favorite movies and folklore and television. And now we're using things that are as crazy as this, as whimsical and imaginative as this character, to bring learning to life for healthcare professionals. So we have this center. It's like a sci-fi, like a starship or a fort that has all these different types of robots and robotics and technology for training healthcare professionals. It's really, really neat. And we even have holograms there. So like your favorite movie, Star Trek, Star Wars, they had holograms that they used to train and to communicate with each other. And we have that same thing at the Davis Global Center. So as you see on there, that's Dr. Gold. He's one of our leaders at UNMC, and that's his holograph that he's having a conversation with. So we use that to train healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, dentists, pharmacists, anybody that takes care of you when you're not feeling well, to train and to be a better healthcare provider. So we use cool stuff like holograms, things that you might have seen in a movie like Star Wars or shows like Star Trek. And then we've got really, really cool technologies, touch screens, big, huge displays that are 3 stories tall, like the infinity wall you see there. And that's got a big brain scan on it. So it's used to make people feel better and to train healthcare professionals to take care of us when we're not feeling well. We also have big, huge touch displays and things that you might think are only possible in the movies or in a video game or science fiction are actually here, and they're a reality here today. So it's really, really exciting. And if you're interested in being a nurse or a doctor or an emergency paramedic or a dentist or a physical therapist, these are the types of tools you're going to use to train on. This is the way that you are going to use science fiction and your imagination and technology to bring learning to life. So get excited because things are getting really, really fun. But we also use robots. A lot of robots at the Davis Global Center, a lot of robots at iEXCEL. So as you can see here in this image, we've got a robot that is acting as the patient. He's very, very advanced, and you can see that the person is practicing a procedure on that robot, and the robot doesn't feel any pain or discomfort like a person would if you were practicing on them. So this is, again, that spaceship, that technological center where we do all of this training for healthcare professionals. So as you can see, they're fully, you know, they're not donned all up in their Darth Vader outfits, but they've got a lot of PPE on. That's personal protective equipment so that they can practice taking care of patients, but they're on those robots where our technician, the person who's controlling and steering the robot, is back in this, what we call the command center, with this super cool blue light up ahead. And they're back behind one-way glass, and they're controlling these animatronic robots. So we call them mannequins sometimes, but they're robots, and they're full bodies of different patients that you can see. So like this robot is simulating, which is another word for kind of like acting like it's real life with the learners, right? So this is a healthcare student. So this is somebody who's gonna be, you know, a healthcare provider, and they're practicing, because in a real scenario, when someone's really hurt like this, you can see this person's got a bad injury. The care they get in the emergency room is so important, and it matters if they're going to save someone's life or if we're going to have a less than desirable outcome. So we use these robots that can do everything that we do as humans. They can talk, their eyes move, they can sweat. You know, if they get hurt, they bleed. They can have broken legs, so that the learners can practice what to do in these actual scenarios. And as you can see, they can practice a whole number of different types of patients, even all the way down to little infants and things like that, because this person is practicing putting a trach or intubating a little tiny infant, which, as you can imagine, you can't practice on an actual baby. You're not going to want to do that, but it's something that you really have to practice to make sure that you're doing it right. So we use robots to simulate that. We also use robots to simulate other scenarios too, like giving labor and delivery. So, you know, a mother having a baby and then taking care of that baby afterwards. So there's a whole number of different things we can do, from emergency situations, like someone's in trouble, we got to take care of them, all the way down to having a baby and labor and delivery. And then we've got, you know, little kiddos too. So you know, if we ever get hurt or get in an accident, you know, for playing sports, or maybe we're you know, fell down and hurt our leg, bumped our head, we're going to have to go to the hospital sometimes when we have those more serious injuries. And we want the people that are at the hospital to have a lot of practice in taking care of all these different situations they might see us in. So we have, you know, these kiddos that are full robots. So they're controlled, like you see this right here. This is the actual simulated environment. So the technicians and the teachers are behind this one-way glass. So they're behind the one-way glass and they're controlling the robot, maybe talking for the robot. They're making the robot sweat or move its head or move its arm. And then the learners are out here in the actual simulated environment taking care of that robotic child. So you can see it's a really, really cool, sophisticated, futuristic, high-tech sci-fi place to train. And if you're interested in, you know, being a healthcare provider or interested in technology or robotics or cool things like this, this is one of the career paths you can even take. Ooh, and as you can see here, we can even simulate really, really bad ouchies. So somebody who gets really, really hurt, we can simulate that, and we can do a lot of life-saving procedures. So inside this robot, they even have lungs that open and expand and contract. So we can, again, practice a whole number of different scenarios and really, really bad accidents too. But it's beyond that. That's not all it is. There's robots that actually also go inside people to take care of them. I know that sounds crazy. That sounds like some futuristic, you know, some sci-fi hooey, but it is real. I tell you that. And we have a whole bunch of different robotic surgical simulation technology that we use at the Davis Global Center. So as you can see up here, this gentleman is actually practicing robotic surgery. So that's what all these things are up here. Is they're small little micro simulators of larger robotic technology that we use to take care of people. So this right here, this is a minimally invasive robot that we use for different surgeries on people. Now, if you see, like right here, when you go inside somebody, if they have, you know, something that's not right with them inside their tummy or inside their gastro system or deep inside, sometimes it's hard to get in there. And with our hands, our big, you know, human hands, sometimes there's places we can't get, you know, inside the human digestive system, inside the heart, inside the lungs, wherever it may be. So sometimes we need to rely on robots and what we call minimally invasive robots. So really, really, really tiny robots. This robot is so small. Its little pinchers there are about, you know, they're about half the size of a penny. So really, really small. They can get inside the human and do different things that our hands can't do. So we use these types of robots to get in there and to perform surgeries on people and take care of them when they're not feeling well. And so that's not an easy thing to do. That's a lot of practice that's involved with. And it's kind of like playing, honestly, it's like kind of like playing a video game or something like that. So it takes a lot of hands-on practice and knowledge. And so that's what these learners are doing. They're practicing on these types of virtual reality training devices that simulate this robotic surgery. So that's what's happening up here. They're actually practicing on one of these robots using a robot. So we have a robotic surgery that's happening on a robot. And before they even got to practice on that robot, they trained using these robots. So as you can see, there's just robotics on top of robotics on top of robotics here at iEXCEL, at the Davis Global Center, at the University of Nebraska Medical Center to train these healthcare providers to take better care of us when we're all in trouble, which is a good thing, right? We love that, don't we? So you can see here, again, lots of different devices. So these are a couple of those little pinchers, little simple devices that students are learning on before they advance up and they begin those more intensive robotic training sessions on the robotic patients. So again, a lot of cool ways in which we use robotics, in which we use technology and virtual reality and things that, you know, our friends like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and people in science fiction might have used. We're actually using those here today. So that's super cool that students like yourself will be part of those life-saving procedures in robotics. So you can see here, you know, simulating what those actual robotic pinchers do inside the human body, because you got to practice on the robots before you practice on real people. But as you all know, the state of Nebraska is a really, really big state. There's a whole lot of area all throughout the state of Nebraska, and there's a lot of rural areas of the state. We at the Davis Global Center are located in Omaha, so there's a lot of people in Omaha that can come, they can get that training, they can train and learn with our robots, different things like that. But we also have robots on the road, as we call them. So we have this Simulation in Motion Nebraska truck that's kind of like our mobile robotic simulation unit. So it's a big truck. It's like a big semi that goes out to all these areas across the state, and they bring their robots. So they'll bring their robots out there on the road. And we have 4 of these big semi truck units, and we go out to where there's more rural parts of the state. So, you know, out where there's a lot of farming and a lot of agriculture and livestock and different things like that. That's also an important part of our state. They are a long ways away from us. So it's not easy for them to travel to work with our robots in the Davis Global Center. So sometimes we send the robots on the road. So they'll get into these mobile simulation units and they'll head out and they'll train. And then we can use these really, really high-tech advanced robots to educate our EMS and critical access providers. So it's not just something that people have to come to us to experience our robots. We'll actually send those robots on the road to train people all throughout the state. So that is a whole ton of fun, and it's really, really important to do. And I just thank you so very much for allowing me to be with you here today to show you a couple of cool ways in which iEXCEL and the Davis Global Center and the University of Nebraska Medical Center are bringing learning to life and really making things that we once thought were just science fiction and just our imagination. They're actually bringing them to reality. So without further ado, I'm now going to gear back up and head back out to take care of people as a robot in healthcare. So I'm half man, I'm half machine, but I'm fully robotic, and I'm fully ready to take care of the next generation of healthcare providers. So thank you for joining me today, and thank you for learning a little something about iEXCEL. Bye-bye.